of a lifetime, a young couple driving from Michigan to Portland. Everything was good until they got to Portland. Thanks for joining us for KT News at 6. I'm Rick Asaway.
And I'm Steve Dunn. As you'll see in the City in Crisis Finding Solutions report, after everything the couple experienced, they say they will not be back. The pictures from the trip west are spectacular. Everything Adrian Hammerly and Allura Gua had hoped it would be. The drive from Grand Rapids, Michigan to Portland, Oregon was a long one, 2,300 miles, but Adrian couldn't wait to introduce Allura to Portland. After all, he lived here from 2017 to 2020. Along the way, they stopped in Wisconsin, South Dakota, and Wyoming. The sightseeing was picturesque. The anticipation for the City of Roses was building.
Yeah, I mean, Adrian was talking it up. He was so excited to bring me. I was so excited to go. And I mean, we've had some people be like, oh, yeah, there's a lot of homeless over there, so just be careful. And I was just going to be like, oh, yeah, we'll be fine. I'm not too worried.
They'd heard about Portland's crime issues, but understood it's something all big cities are going through. The day after arriving at their downtown Portland hotel, though, their excitement turned upside down when they headed to their car to find some coffee.
When we got to the car, I looked down at the ground and I saw that there was a bunch of glass, and I was like, oh, weird, okay. And I went to go open the door and saw that the window was smashed to pieces. And at that moment, I was like, oh my God, someone just broke into our car. And I was looking around the car to see what was stolen.
The thieves had taken a Nintendo Switch video game, but their camping gear was still there. Distressed by what had happened, they decided to park in a different garage on the top floor, figuring that would be safer. A few days later, they learned it wasn't.
As I'm coming up from the elevator and walking through the door and whatnot, I noticed the film that we put over to cover the broken window initially was cut through. And then as I was walking around the vehicle, just about every single window was shattered besides the windshield. Our stuff that was in the vehicle, from her coloring books and stuff like that, and pens that are all just scattered all over the place, and just about everything that we had in the vehicle, which is a little bit more than we had the first time it was broken into, because we were about to leave, you know. Just about everything was stolen, from our camping gear to clothing to
your skateboard.
Skateboard, electronics,
clothes. Everything was stolen pretty much.
2 break-ins in a matter of days. The city they had driven thousands of miles to see had turned scary. They say they got little help from a parking garage employee.
Yeah, he laughed in my face and said, this happens all the time. And I was like, that does not make me feel very good at all about this situation.
And just like that, their Portland bubble was popped. Their safety became paramount.
After our car got broken into the first time around and we decided to go out and explore the city a little bit, I can say that I was definitely a little more fearful, making sure that everything was good around us, just because, you know, that, like, I don't know what's... I was not gonna lie, I was kind of scared.
And what had happened to the city that Adrian remembered?
I'm not really sure why it's gotten so bad, but it's a lot different than what I'm used to, what I was used to.
And with Portland in the rearview mirror, they still have the drive back to Michigan, with plastic film covering their windows the whole way.
It was a 30-hour drive home with no windows. And at night, it got really cold. During the day, it did get really hot in most of the states on our way home, so we just weren't comfortable at all. I had to put some clothes that we had from the hotels, I had to put those on the seats so that, you know, we weren't sitting on glass on accident. I did end up having a piece of glass in my foot the entire 30-hour drive home.
The couple says overall it was a good vacation, experiencing places they'd never seen. But their days spent in Portland are not something they want to repeat.
It's part of the idea of us going out to Portland was to kind of like show her the city and all that jazz, to potentially move back. That was kind of like the end goal per se. And after all this, I don't think I'll be ever back in Portland. Maybe to like the southern parts or like Bend, Oregon, to kind of show the places that we didn't get to visit. But other than that, I don't think I'll ever visit Portland or Oregon again.
I did reach out to the city of Portland to get their response to this couple's experience. I heard back from the mayor's office. Calling it an incredibly disheartening and frustrating situation, they outlined several changes they've implemented to improve downtown safety. For example, City Council approved a $6 million contract for improved private security in parking garages, including 24-hour security for Portland's 5 downtown city parking garages. They point to a recent public-private collaboration to fund additional security officers specifically to patrol the hotel district 7 days a week. Now, longer term, they're working to restaff the police bureau, deploying officers where they'll have the most impact, just to name a few. We'll keep you posted as these improvements take place.